Hello. So my name is Jennifer Gianni, and I will be presenting my UML diagrams for re making generating a report. So through the Splitwise software, users have the ability to generate reports through the data that they give to that they input into Splitwise, being expenses, payments, and balances. So let's get started. So the first UML diagram I'll be talking about is class diagrams. The class diagram for report generation. This diagram is consistent of a few layers. So we have the display interface layers, and then we have the management layers, and then we have DAO manager, which manages all the data directly. So, uh, to have like a little bit of an overview, I'm using a report tracker GUI to basically implement what to organize what would the user see, what data fields would the user see um, throughout the use cases and whatnot. So when it comes to like the general like all the use cases, the user will have to log in to Splitwise, and then they are automatically taken to the generate report view where they will be generating reports. So in class version, we can see that we have a report tracker GUI, and this GUI specifically connects has views. That's why there's a direct association. And then this login view will allow the user to log in through this method. Here's are the fields. Now the GUI connects them to the generate report view generate report view. Within this class, the attributes are going to be the report name, data range, involved users for the report, and then the format of the report, along with the name of the report, and also a interface for exception handling, specific to pop-ups. I'll be explaining the exception handling later. However, the generate report view shows to the user um, about like places to fill in data, which is opened through this button, this method, which acts like a button. Open report attribute fields. So yeah, and then once the report has been like all the data has been given and authenticated, we can just generate report. So this is a button to generate report. Once the generate report button is finished executing, the view talks to the GUI to open up the customized report view, which is another view that allows the user to customize the report. So the information that is shown to the user, it includes buttons, checklists, and another exception handling another exception handling involving pop-ups. So here we have add report, delete report, combine report, and save report. So those four are like four different use cases that or actions that the user would want the software to do. So that's here. And then customize. Okay. So now the open abort pop-up method is directly associated with pop-ups. So pop-ups are going to be seen through the generate reports view, and the customized report view, even the report customization section panel. And let's go into that because that's that's we're starting with interfaces and we're going down to manage to the system. So here we're doing pop-up. Here is a pop-up. Okay. So this has uses pop-ups like it just is, it's a has pop-ups, meaning that actually it's not a has. It's uses so the pop-up so the panel actually uses pop-ups to show the user if the report has been aborted or has been terminated. So a report can be terminated only within the generate report view. However, the a, a report can be aborted through the report customize section panel, the and and by proxy the view report customization view. But with that being said, a pop-up includes a message and a confirm button, and these three classes are specific types of pop-ups, and this is a general pop-up class. So this is why there's an arrow over here. And so the three special pop-ups would be report customization, abort pop-up, report exception pop-up, and confirm change pop-up. So within pop-ups, there's also abort report and terminate report. This is uh to initiate the process to uh, like start like um aborting or terminating the report. So with that being said, let's go back to let's go back to here. And so now we're still in the customized report view. The customized report view has panels, consists of panels. And so consists of panels. So a panel cannot exist without a view being initiated first. And so this is why we're aggregating these three panels. And so within the report checklist panel, it shows the user a checklist for which they can check off or deselect the types uh, of either sections, users, or visuals that they want in the report. And then here, the involved user panel allows the user to customize the involved users and the user itself, technically. So here we can assign a different role to like inside a user involved inside the involved user group. And then we can add a user, we can delete a user. However, only the user can do those three things only if they are a manager. So this is why that's kind of like a constraint in a sense, which will be talked about um dealt with through user manager. So that's later on though. We have reports customized section panel, which shows the user the ways that you can customize the sections within the report. So here we have add section, delete section, edit section order, and edit section include data. That's kind of that is used discreetly in a sense. So, but also can be used with used by the user. So another way of like explaining it is like how like a save um button can be used by the user, but like the system also can save. So that's how that works. So it's like yeah, save we have save button. Like a user can save save a report whenever they want. But the system can has to save the report every 30 seconds, which is shown through the DAO manager. So those are like the main methods involved. So now we are trickling down and we need to discuss the checklist. So a checklist is an interface that we've explained the panel for, but we haven't explained what it actually is. What is a report checklist? Well, a report checklist is basically a way for the user to select what they want in the report um, through an interface that looks like a checklist. So a report checklist um, is connected to report checklist item through a composition. So we like okay, report checklist item is what the checklist is composed of. So like items that the checklist is composed of. So within the checklist item, um a check like an item can be selected, deselected, toggled, um and whatnot. So here though we have this is a generalization of the visual checklist item, which is a specification like a specific item. Let's just say that checklist item. So here we can see there's virtual a virtual method called isVisuals, and this basically initiates the ability to toggle graphs, tables, and charts. So these are the three visual types that a user can customize, having within their report or not. And so that's I think that's the yeah, that is the last interface in the sense. So now we can go and talk about the system part, the managers. So let's go back to the left side. So we have user manager here and we have report section manager. So user manager is directly connect so involved user panel and login view are directly connected to manager, in which the user manager um manages the involved user group, but also just a user, an individual user. So this is where you get your gets and sets. Not only that, but we need a get role specifically is important uh in uh, in like authenticating the role of the user that is making or manipulating the report. So yeah, get role, very important. And then user authenticate, also pretty important. And then the login view uses user manager. And so like both the panel and the view connect to user manager, which also connects to DAO manager. So that's like you see how like interface to actual system, like so user to interface to system to um manipulation of the data. Now we have report customized section panel, and that is connected to the report section manager. So you can see that we have user manager and report section manager. Report section manager only deals with the sections. We have sets and we have gets. So here that's where that is at. And then we have saves all sections, but all of this data is really all this data, like user manager and the report section manager, they all need to connect to a bigger manager that actually deals with the report itself. So this is where report manager comes into play. So here we have report manager. So it's not shown over here, but it's directly associated with. Okay, the managers are directly associated with report manager, user manager, and reports customization. Report section manager. Okay. Oh, this is like an easy. This is a better way of sh showing it. User manager. Okay, and so then we have report manager. Report manager includes like all of this, like all the manipulation of the report itself. What I want to focus on more is the state. Report state is really crucial in order to work with the pop-ups. Um, report state allows for um, save save instances to be um, documented. Also, the if a report is terminated or aborted. So then, yeah, and then here we got reject report. Reject report also is involved through a terminate report. And so, yeah. Okay, so all the reports, though, all the managers, though, are directly connected to to DAO manager. DAO manager involves, I mean, is involved with the data tables, the data in themselves. And so here we have reports, users, sections, visuals, and those are like bundled up in arrays of the entities in a sense. Let's just say that. Um, Save report, load report, delete report, and whatnot. So yeah, nothing can none of these ta data tables can change on before they go through DAO manager. Okay. So the first state machine we'll be talking about the customization of a report. So within the state machine, we are dealing with the customization, a report customization view and report manager. So here we have attributes, sorry, instances of reports through report manager. So this is initial state. We are wanting to customize the two reports or one of the reports depending on the user's choice, what the user picks through the view. So if the user picks delete report, the user still stays in the view. However, the system goes through report manager and deletes the report from the array, and then that change is saved. And then if the user wants to add a report, they would go from the view directly to oh wait, go from customized report view directly to the generate report view. So this is why they're basically out of the view after this point, and they are saving through that view, through the generate report view. Or actually, going back to customize uh report view. Yeah, that's actually correct. And so right here we have oh please do not mind this save report also. Oh no, yeah, this both all three of them should have save report. Yeah, so here if we want to combine a report, we still stay through customize report view. However, we're going through the report manager and um, we are loading in the reports and then we are combining them. However, the combination of the two is being saved through the DAO manager. So that's where the saved would happen is through the DAO manager. Um, so technically this is why there's no method, but yeah, it's still save report regardless. So that's um, how the report would go to the final state. That's the first state machine. The second state machine includes if there is involved users. Don't mind me misspelling involved, but yeah. The initial part is that we're in the involved customize involved user panel. So we have users, we have a group of users. So we are also using a user manager. And so if the user through the panel, the customize involved user panel were to pick assign role, um they would like assign they would fill in the name of the user that they want to assign the role to, and then the process of assigning the role would initiate, um, which I explained previously. And then delete. So yeah, if the user wants to delete a user, they would have to be a manager once again. Still, uh, the deletion of the user would initiate, and so that's one of the states. And then the third state is if the user wants to add a user to the involved group, in which this is another state. It's like the all three go down to saving the involved user group, involved users. This set user group is connected to user manager. So then that's the final. So the third state machine is connected to customizing sections. Um, so through a report. So when we are customizing the sections of a report, we are going through the report section panel. Oh, sorry. Re customize report, customize section, customize section report. No, report. Okay, hold up. It's going to be report customization section panel. Once again, we have arrays, sections, and visuals, user data types. This shows that we are using the report section manager, and this is how we are actually manipulating the data in a sense. So if the user through the panel wants to edit included users, edit section included users, they would do so by pressing the button, and that would initiate the process of actually going to the user manager as well. And so then that's one state. And the second state is edit section included user data. However, this technically, no. User manager isn't used in this case. We're still going through section manager, report section manager. And then we're going to section included users, edit section included users. That's pressed. That's another state where we have changed involved users data in sections. And then edit included visual sections. If this user has pressed that, they are going to be brought to a checklist panel, which then they can select what visuals that they want or do not want in the report. And then here, if they want to edit section order, they would do so through the view. And then if they want to delete section, they would still stay in the view. Report section a report section manager would go to the DAO and delete section. Actually, delete section, no. We would go to the checklist panel once again to deselect or select the sections that we want. And that works for both add selection and delete section. If we want to save these sections, we can go through the report section manager and save all sections through them. Yeah. And then that's how we get to this state right here, the final state. Sections have been saved, and that's the final. So now let's go to the sequence diagrams. This sequence diagram, shows the events of going through a report abort. So that's the use case report abort. Abort report. And once again, there's a relationship between the boundaries, the controls, and the entities that will be shown through this diagram. So we want to initialize a report tracker GUI. So we want to initialize a boundary technically. So this is yeah, and so that's initialized right away when the user opens up the software, Splitwise, and then are taken to pressing the button login. So this is actually this method is within GUI and login view. So it's just like once this login is initiated, another login. I mean login's view's login is initiated, if that makes sense. So yeah, the user logs in. So now the view wants to make sure that we have this user. I mean, the software wants to make sure that we have this user. So it calls the user manager, user authenticate, then the user manager connects. So once again, this is a control. And now we are going to the other control, add involved user. So we're just initializing a user. Okay. And now we go directly to the user Sarah, the entity, yeah. So the user that we're talking about is called Sarah. So yeah, and then once we know that Sarah exists, we have a match, and so we authenticate that. We these two are just messages, not like actual methods of the sort. And now the display panel, this is not a method, but just shows that there's a change in panel. Should say that. So now the login view calls the GUI to open the generate report view for the user. And once that is initiated, the fields for the user to input the report attributes are displayed. So now the instance of login view is done right now. So now we're in generate report view. We input the user now has the ability to input the data range of the report and the involved users of the report and the report format. That yeah, report format. So um to add the data range for the report, we go through the control report manager, and then we validate that range if we validated it. So we validate it, yeah. If we want to add user, we go through the control user manager. And if we add wait, if we want to add a format, we go through control report manager. And so once again, the view, either the user or the system, yeah, the user generates report. So once we generate the report through the report manager, a instance. Oh wait, first we have to ask the user to input the name of the report, what they want to name the report. And once that's validated, then we can use the report manager to call uh, the DAO manager to add reports to the entity uh, report named report year one. Then a message is called to say that the report has been generated. However, no details of the report actually have been saved yet. This is done after the instance of the generate report view exit is terminated technically. We are refreshing the page and the generate report view calls the GUI to open up the customized report view. So for the user to customize report now. And within the customized report view is the report saved. That's where the report is saved. So the customized report view um, talks to the report manager to save, asks to save the report, and then the report manager talks to the DAO manager, which allows a DAO manager to to actually save the attributes of the report. Now, once that is done, the user is asked to update involved user data. So this button is shown to the user through the view, and then the view makes an instance of involved user panel. We know that we are dealing with user data, and so that's why we initiate the panel. So next part. We're now in the view involved user panel. We still have the instance, we're still in the customized report view, so that doesn't get terminated. Now we want the user to input the name of the person that they want to manipulate uh, within the involved group. Once that user's been authenticated, we want to see what the user wants to do with the user. Um, the user says that they want to delete the user. Okay. We make sure that the user is able to delete anyone within the involved group, though. This is what I was talking about earlier. So we get the role and we make sure that um, the user is authenticated. However, we see that the user is unauthorized because they are an employee within this use case and um, does not have permissions to actually delete a user. So with that being said, the the view, the the report manager sets the report date to abort. And so now we also call the view the customized report view to show the abort pop-up to the user. And that's when the involved user panel like terminates that boundary, and then we are calling an instance of the report customization pop-up. This is a boundary, and it is displaying the message to the user. Then we see that the report manager is calling up to abort the report, and so we ask the DAO DEO manager to load the report, and then the DEO manager asks the report manager to set report state to fine. It's fine now. And then we refresh the view. So this process takes it back to the saved, to its initial like last saved. So like right here. Okay, so now that's really the end of this sequence diagram. So now we go to the next diagram. So everything is basically the same. Everything is the same along through the process of being in the login view and being in the generate report view. We can go past that. We can go straight to here where we're in customized report view, and we have made an we have saved report one, and now the user's calling to add report through the customized report view. And so now the customized report view is actually asking the user, is asking the GUI again to open generate report because because we need to generate another report in order to generate another report. So the instance of customized report view terminates for now, and then the same process happens again from going to generate report view to customize report view. So here we go. And now we have a second report that we have not saved yet. We have generated but not saved. So here we go and refresh the screen so we can actually go to the customized report view. But now here the user is calling to combine reports. So now the customized report view calls the report manager to combine reports, where the report manager loads the report, where the and then both report one and report two are being generated together. Okay, this right after this point, the DAO manager handles the saving of the report and having the combination be successful, making and then the customized report view refreshes and then takes the user to its end state, have a combined report. And that is my presentation for my for Splitwise report generation. I hope you have a great day.